We are live, girlfriend.
Hey, hey.
All right. So, everyone, welcome again to Thriving Together. I'm LaRonda Scott with eXp Realty. And each week I'm excited to bring a new topic to you because it's all about helping you thrive both personally and professionally. And today I have my friend, I have my sorority sister, my business partner, founder of the Triangle Wealthy Group, owner of Make Your Move, Latrice McFadden, with me, and I'm super excited. Say hey to the people, girl.
Hey, hey. How's everybody doing?
Thank you for being with me tonight. I was looking forward to the conversation but before we dive in, I know I threw all the titles and stuff out there, but tell the folks a little bit about yourself.
Latrice McFadden. Have been a licensed real estate agent since 1997. I've learned to start saying it that way. Let people do the math. Oh, she don't look that old. Wife, mother of 3 adult children. My youngest just turned 21 the 29th of October. I cannot believe I have 3
Wow.
grown children, and she will be the third to graduate in 2024. So she's graduating in December. So I'm excited about that. Like you said, I had my license in 1997. I've been doing this real estate thing for a long time and just really have a passion for helping people. And it's been a great opportunity for me over the last raising my children. I'm gonna let y'all do the math. So
What was wild for me is we were talking not too long ago, and you said when you initially got your license, we weren't realtors or brokers. We were was it salesperson?
salespersons.
Salespersons.
It might have even been salesmen at first and then went to salespersons. Yeah.
Salesperson. Okay, because you
Mhm.
got to be politically correct. You can't call me a salesman.
It's right. Yep. When I got my license, I was a salesperson. And then the next year, because back then you could go get your license, get your broker's license, and open up your firm the next day. And
Really?
really, yeah, I got my
No, it
license.
is not that. It is not the case like that now.
Not at all. I got my license in
No.
salesperson in 97. And by 1998, I was a broker and had my own firm.
Well, hot dog. Well, look. Okay, so my question is, you've been in the game for a while, but I feel like this has been your career. Did you do anything before getting into real estate, or what got you into real estate?
I did. I was fresh out of college. I was a supervisor actually at a call center where we did phone interviews, surveys. So that's why I'm really,
Mm.
really nice to people when they call because I was that one that we would call you and say, hey, can you do a survey for me and keep you on the phone for whatever time? So really nice to people when they call me now to do surveys. My children are always like, Ma, you're just too nice. You need to hang up. I'm like, I can't do that. And then after that, I was in human resources. So at SAS and Cary for
Mhm.
a few years. And then right before I got married, my husband was like, you should get your real estate license. And so I was like, okay, because I had done a lot of entrepreneurship and a lot of different types of businesses. So we got married, went on our honeymoon, came back and took the real estate class, and been doing it ever since.
It's been real estate ever since. I try to be nice to them as well because I remember in college, I did surveys, trying to get a little check, broke college
Mhm.
student, and they
Mhm.
had this thing where you could get paid doing it. And that's not easy because people are not nice on the phone. So that's what makes you be, make you be nice to people.
Yep.
And then I'm the same way when people are fundraising because I've been a professional beggar for what going on 19 years. So when people are in fundraising mode, I'm like, okay, let me be nice. Let me go ahead and give you a donation.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So what's been your why though? Because I've had people that have reached out to me and they're thinking about getting into real estate. They're talking about the business and they say that agents don't last more than what 5 years, and you've been in it for 97. So there's got to be something that drives you and keeps you in the game.
Like I said, I really have a passion for like helping people, and it's so I don't know, it's just something when like even I had a closing this morning, and this is
Mhm,
actually the 5th transaction that I've had with these clients. Um,
mhm,
but every time I get to help somebody, buy a home, sell a home, especially first-time home buyers, is just something that gives you a fulfilling sensation to do that. And then even though it's a business and it's a lot of work, it did offer me a lot of flexibility when I was raising my children to be able to try to work my schedule around, being able to go to their meetings, take them to school and things like that. So,
Mhm.
and it can be lucrative. Like I said, I've tried a lot of different businesses, and
Mhm.
like some of them I'm like, yeah, no.
I don't know, but you never know until you give it a try.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
You do not.
Yeah.
Well, but then the other part of it is, okay, is it easy? I mean, have you stuck, why you make that? I didn't even get the question out. So you made that face, so go ahead and talk about it.
Well, okay, finish the question because you said, is it easy? So maybe it was something else behind that. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, that was kind of it. I'm like, have you found it to be easy, and that's why you stuck with it so long, or what's life? What's the real estate life like to you?
I mean, well, it's always something new. There's
Mhm.
never the same, like even after being in the business, you're always going to have some new experience. You always get to meet new people. As far as easy, I would not say that it's easy, but I would say that if you have a passion for it, then even when you have the trials that come along with being a business owner,
Mm,
and trying to balance everything. Because like a lot of times they'll tell you that you being a business owner is just owning a job. So and being an independent contractor, that can be the type of situation that it is. So I will say that like coming into being introduced to EXP in 2021, that has really helped me look at it differently. So now that I know I'm not just a realtor, I am the CEO of my own company. And even though I sort of knew that, it's been a different experience for me.
So, talk about just really get into it because, like I said, I've had some people reach out and they're thinking about it. So, what
Mhm.
did that process look like for you? And what's a day in the life of Latrice?
So I will say that when people come, when they ask me now and we talk about the process, I really refer them either to you or somebody else that's newer in the business because it is a whole different ball game to get in this industry nowadays. I might be a little nervous starting now, but when I do share with it, I always, give you the whole I give you the truth straight, no chaser, because
Mhm.
like you said, most people don't last in this industry, and I think the industry average is what, 1 or 2 closings a year for the average realtor. Um,
Mhm. So
if
that's
I
why they're not. Yeah.
Yeah, so and if you can't live off of 1 or 2 closings a year, it's just not financially possible. And then not only that, this business is not it's not a hobby. It's not an inexpensive thing that you're just going to go get your license and you don't have to spend any money to run it. You have to invest in
Mhm.
yourself and in your business to to be in business. So I'm going to give you the whole truth. And like I said, I've had several clients that have actually gone and gotten the real estate license, and I said I must have made it look a little bit too easy. But like I said, it is very, very rewarding. So if
Yeah.
you have a passion for it, if you have patience, and then if you have a support system, because you can't, if it's just you, you're not going to be able to do this by yourself. You got to have
Mhm.
a support system, spouse, husband, somebody,
Yeah.
or a nice savings account that you
Yes.
can be able to maintain and continue in this business. And a day in the life, it really
Mhm.
depends on what the day is. So, and you can start out and have these plans, and it will change. Somebody will call you and say, "Oh, I want to see this house," especially when the market was really, really crazy. You have
Mhm.
to really almost be on call for somebody to say, "Oh, I like this house," and try to get there as soon as possible. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but I've learned that you do need to structure it, and I'm still working on it, but time blocking so that you can work the different aspects of your business, especially lead generating,
Mhm.
because you look up and you're working with a couple of clients and you've closed and, oh, wait a minute, I don't have any more clients to or any
Mhm.
coming up, which means there's no more income coming in. So
Uh,
you got to really focus on that.
I was telling somebody the other day, I said the way we look at it is that, if you're not always working on business and keeping a healthy pipeline,
Mhm.
once you get to the closing table, you're unemployed. You're essentially
Mhm.
unemployed and you're looking for another job. But now I swear, I think I'm gonna have to reach out to him and tell him I need a kickback or something because everybody that asked me about it, well, where should I go to class? Who should I register with? I pump up Travis Everett so much. It's like he needs to give me some royalties or something, but I
Oh,
do. I do have to give him his props though, because when I was taking the class, it was if I was cooking, Travis was playing in the background because if I'm driving, he was like my podcast.
mm,
But you've got to dig in because it's a lot of information. But then once you get your license, you know this much.
right.
But then you get into the business, it's like I got a heck of a lot more I gotta learn.
Right. And it's a continuous learning process. Like
Mhm.
it's like I said, there's no two transactions that have been exactly the same. So you're going to constantly be learning. And I guess that's another advantage to nowadays that you have that option to do classes virtually. When I took my class, I had to get up and drive to I went to Howard Perry in Walston. Debbie Long was my
Mhm.
instructor, and
Mhm.
she was phenomenal. And I kind of pumped her up like you
Like
pump
I
up
do Travis.
because you need somebody that really understands the industry, has done the business to help you be able to understand what it is that you're getting into, so that you can be, like you said, this much prepared when you actually pass that test and get your
Mhm.
license and affiliate with a firm.
That's the crazy thing because when I got mine, they weren't doing it online. It was something, people asked, but it's like,
Mhm.
no, with pre-licensing, it has to be in person. But then
Mhm.
the pandemic came, and you
Yeah.
know what? When you're
Yeah.
messing up cash flow and things can't happen, oh, now all of a sudden we can do it online, but it's made it a lot more accessible to people, and convenient.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm not mad at them. So
What's
I
your
have
typical
say what now?
What's your typical day in real estate?
Oh my gosh. Like you said, it depends. It depends on the day.
Mhm.
Um, I can have times I'm like you, I'm getting better with time blocks.
Mhm.
Because I try to make sure I'm blocking a day to where it's all about relationships and I'm reaching out and I'm having conversations with people,
Mhm.
whether they're past clients or within my sphere, because again, we've always got to keep ourselves top of mind when it comes to
Absolutely.
generating business. Um,
Mhm.
and it's easy to get caught up in doing things that does it benefit your business? Yeah, but is it making you money? You know what I mean? Is it leading you to money? So I have a love for Canva. I can sit and do graphics all day and be just as happy and say, well, I'm marketing, I'm advertising my business, but it's the conversations and the relationships that's really going to lead you there. So I can start the day having a block. I'm going to make some calls. I'm going to follow up maybe on some of the FISBOs. I'm interested in investing. So I collect videos where I could be driving around and I am talking to myself, giving addresses and road names. So I'm researching those because I'm interested in investing as well.
Mm.
I may get a call to where I've been pushing out, prospective homes and stuff to some of my clients. And then they decide, you know what, this is the one. So I'm doing research on that property and pulling comps and checking out the community so we can go out and check it out. So it depends on the day, and that day depends on what the clients that you have, what their timelines are, what their needs are, things like that.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely varies.
Now,
Definitely.
something that folks may notice, now you have Make Your Move Inc. on here. That is your company.
It is.
So you said you started out, you got your license, and then you opened your own brokerage. What was it like running your own brokerage, and how did you know that you wanted your own?
So when I got my license, I was working full time. I told you in HR. So
Yeah.
back then it was kind of difficult to find someone that would let you work with them as a part-time agent.
Mhm.
And so a friend of the family, my parents, because I grew up in Raleigh, and so my parents
Mhm.
had friends that were realtors, and I reached out to them and they said, okay, you can come and work with us. I did one of my sorority sisters, or one of our sorority sisters, waited for me to get my license. So I had a client built in. I did everything. It was new construction, took my check into them, had never set foot in their office, never got any training or anything like that. Gave them my check, and they wrote me a check back for 50%. And I said, this math
Right.
ain't mathing for me.
Shoot, no.
And so I went and got my license. And like I said, started my firm. I went and became a broker. Okay.
Mhm.
Started my firm, made myself the broker in charge, had my firm since 98. And then actually in 2020, I had, during COVID, I was like, it's time to like switch up the brand, do something different. And so I started thinking about changing the name of my firm and rebranding. And so
Mhm.
2020 to I think like June 2021, I brainstormed and came up with different ideas and finally came up with Make Your Move. And I deliberately did not put real estate in Make Your Move because I didn't want to only focus on real estate, because I like to encourage people to make your move with whatever it is in your life, whether it's starting a business,
Mhm.
buying a house, obviously, losing weight, gaining weight, whatever it is that you want to do in your
Right.
life. I want to say, make your move. Just
I
make your move.
learned something new. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yep. So I came up with the name, restarted the company, did all of the things that I needed to do, had my logo created, and then I became the president of the Triangle Board of Realtors in
Mhm.
January of 2020. And then in 2021, I went to my first in-person convention, and I was introduced to eXp Realty. And people had tried to talk to me before about it, and I was like, I got my own firm. I'm not going to try to split my commission. I'm not doing that. I'm going to stay with where I am.
Right.
And finally went to one of these sessions. That's why it's always great to go to conferences in your
Mhm.
profession. But went to this session and really listened to it, and I was like, well, dang, this kind of makes sense. I was like, but I'm still not doing it. And then I kept listening, and then I was introduced to it through the Wealthy Group out of Atlanta. And I was like, well, they're out of Atlanta. I'm here in North Carolina. That doesn't make sense. And so Terry Gleaton, the founder of the Wealthy Group, they were having what I didn't realize was the first one, but they called it the Wealthy Retreat. And so
Mhm.
I came back. I think that was in July, and they were having it in August. And I came back. I flew down to Atlanta. I think that was my first like day trip. So I flew down that morning, went to the retreat, and I was just like amazed to see this group of professionals that were just so willing to pour into each other, that look like me, look like us, and no crabs in the barrel, and everybody was just working together, whether they were with EXP or not. And so I was like, okay, this makes sense. Let me do it. And then the other big thing for me, because like I said, I had just bought new signs, just did this logo, just done everything, was that I could still brand under Make Your Move so that I could encourage people across the board. So
Mhm.
that was my transition into EXP, and still just really being able to follow my branding and my desires and growing. And then the other thing was, I was like, we got to because I went to the Wealthy Retreat in August or September and October. And
Mhm.
um and I was like, okay, I can't keep flying down here every month. So I got to bring this to North Carolina. So
Your
that's
folks have been like, "What you got going on in Atlanta? You stay in Atlanta these days."
exactly. So joined, did our first Wealthy Retreat here in, I think it was the end of October, beginning of September. I mean, the
Mhm.
beginning of November, and did another one in December. And that's what we've been doing ever since. And just, really trying to grow it and bring that camaraderie and experience here.
So for you, that was a big move because I know, I mean, even with me getting into real estate, my desire was to have my name, to have my brand. Um,
Mhm.
and initially, in terms of, having my own, you look at the brick and mortar and think, okay, that I want to have my thing.
Mhm.
But you chose to bring your brand to EXP. So I'm curious, what has been the difference for you? What really led to you didn't give up anything. You really brought it to another brand, but what's been the difference for you?
I gave up a lot of stress and responsibility and expenses. That's what I gave up. Because if you're a broker in charge, you are responsible for whatever that broker does that's in your firm. Even though we have provisional broker and
Mhm.
brokers, and there's more responsibility for a provisional broker. But as I was trying to build a team, and I have had agents that work with me, and then for part of the time, there was a company that was I think they might have actually been before EXP, but they were going to be the first online brokerage, and so I was actually the state broker for North Carolina, and that's when I had like I don't know how many agents, but the stuff that I saw them do, I was like, oh, I got to get out of this because y'all gonna have me losing my license, and I like what I do.
We'll have
So
you in realtor jail. We call it realtor jail.
had me in realtor jail. They might have had me in real jail because it was some crazy stuff that I saw. I was like, oh yeah, no, this isn't working. So that was the thing that I gave up that responsibility, but I was able to still maintain the ability to have agents that I introduced to a company can work under me, and even be able to expand it where it can be agents really almost anywhere in the world,
Mhm.
um, at this point. And I still am able to have like because if you do whatever split you do, you as a broker in charge, you're going to do a split. And that's why I said when I was saying that 50-50, but most agents nowadays aren't coming into 50-50 with nothing. But I'm still able to share this industry, introduce people to the company, and I'm able to benefit from the agents that might have been with my firm without me having the responsibility. So that's the main thing.
And I
That's
will tell you, and we're just gonna keep it real because I remember when I came in the game, this was brought up. And I think EXP was fairly new in the North Carolina market.
Mhm.
A lot of people look at it though, well, that's it's a pyramid scheme. That's
Mhm.
what EXP is all about. But you mentioned in terms of building a team. And
Mhm.
really the goal with EXP gives you an opportunity, a way to build a team,
Mhm.
that you don't have, like you were saying, the liability and everything, and carry that as the broker.
Right.
That's something that the company itself carries, but you
Mhm.
were still able to bring people to the company,
Mhm.
bring people on board as your team. Um,
Mhm.
and benefit just like you would with your own broker or with another company. So there's no voodoo or anything going on. It's just really creating and cultivating people's business as a team.
Absolutely. Yes, that is exactly right. I am able to, like for instance, you join me. If you had wanted to join me just at Make Your Move, I would have been responsible for providing your website, and or would have felt like I was responsible for providing all of the technology and the things that you need to be successful in your business, and
Mhm.
guiding you. Whereas even though you're on my team or I don't want to say team, but group, you're in my downline, I'll say. So I'm able to benefit, but it doesn't cost you any more of your commission than what you would have already been paying. So with EXP, when you come, it's a straight 80-20 split. So none of that 50-50 stuff. And you get your 80%, if you're not a provisional broker, if you're a full
Mhm.
broker and have some experience. So it can be a little bit different if you need a mentor.
Right.
and then
Right.
you're new in the business. So your split will be a little bit different at the beginning. But straight 80-20 split with a $16,000 cap.
Mhm.
And you get your 80%, but I'm still able to revenue share from the 20% that goes with the company.
Right.
So
From the company.
yeah, so it doesn't cost you anything. And then you can also take advantage of that, because if you join me just at Make Your Move, you bring somebody to Make Your Move. Thank you.
Right. That's it. That's
Thank
it.
you. Yeah. So, but you can take advantage of it and do the same thing that I'm able to do.
Now, we'll tell anyone that's new listening, you're hearing us talk about commissions and splits and things of that nature. And of course, when you work hard and you deal with, maybe some not so nice clients, because you meet a lot of different people in the business,
Yes, you
um,
do.
you may say, I want all my money, I want 100%. But
Mhm.
I cannot impress upon you enough to, one, interview various brokers, find the right fit for you. And as a brand new agent, I would make the split the most important, because you're going to want to make sure you get training. You want to make sure what mentoring. They're providing you with resources, whether it's a client management system, website, or something, because if you go into a place and it's 100%, then guess what? You are going to have to pay for all of those business generating things. So I want to make sure, we're clear about that.
Right.
Um, but again, that's actually how I came to know about EXP, was through you.
Mhm.
In searching out real estate agents in different associations, I came across Tribor. You
Mhm.
were, like you said, you were president of Tribor,
Mhm.
and that's how I got to know you. But then going to the Wealthy Retreat, it was one of the first experiences that I felt like, when I tell you they are just pouring in my cup, I
Mhm.
mean, granularly. Did I get that word out right? I'm getting tongue tied.
I think you got it.
Giving you all the details of
Mhm.
how they are successful, and there's no holding back. And there may
Right.
be some people looking at this like, okay, so you're a real estate agent. Why do you have another real estate agent on your show?
Mhm.
But that's the beauty of the way it's set up, to where, you and I are owners of EXP.
Exactly.
So you can be on here. We want each other to be as successful as possible, because our businesses,
Exactly.
as a result, become as successful.
Yep. And that's exactly what I said. Like I experienced in Atlanta when I went to that first Wealthy Retreat. I was like, wow, this is
Mhm.
crazy.
And you
So,
can tell a difference now. I may not, it may have gone over my head before. I think you and I were in a class, and I won't even say name, but we met someone who was number one in the country. Um,
mhm.
and I think when we asked the question, so how did you get there? What's your business plan? And she goes, well, I don't really have a business plan. We're like, oh,
Right.
like, you don't just get up and happen upon being number one in the country.
Yep.
Uh, and
Never
then
had
we asked about her, what was it? I think how she
her
keeps up with
day.
her clients and everything. And she's like, I don't really have a system. And again, we were like,
Right.
there's no way in the world.
Right. Yeah. I
But
really.
that's that instance to where you're giving me little bits and pieces, but you are not trying to give me the tea, not at all.
Exactly. Yep. And that's why what I said, that there's no crabs in the barrel scenario. There's enough for everybody to go around. And
Mhm.
this is just an excellent opportunity to take advantage of that and grow your business. And especially with the industry being the way it is and the changes, there's so much training. I just got back from EXPCon in Miami. And when I tell you,
I'm gonna be there next year. You are not leaving me next year.
let's go. It's in Miami again too. So just everybody that is there, they're so open to answering questions, giving you the information. It's there, and obviously there's things for sale, because you do have to invest in your business like
Mhm.
anything else. But the trainings that are there that you get, and being able to just take notes and have so much stuff to come back and implement. That's the part. You can get this information, but you
Mhm.
come back and implement it. So,
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the case with everyone. I mean, tonight we were on the phone with the VP of growth for
right,
our company. And
right,
I'm like, so how many people are having private sessions with the VP of their company? Um,
right.
and then I look at even just for myself, different revenue streams. So, of course, I have my day to day.
Hmm.
And I'm a certified mentor. So as I'm working with my mentees, that's another revenue stream because I love helping people build their business and reaching their goals. So
Hmm.
then, with each of my sales, I'm getting stock in the company, and I
Yep,
love popping into my little platform to see how much money I got now in my platform.
yep,
Um, and then there's a revenue share.
yep.
But then there's people that are doing coaching and all this different stuff, and we don't mind supporting their business because we're learning from them. So it's just a lot of different ways that you can engage, but it's only as good as you make it because you have to be engaged. You've got to plug in.
Yeah,
You
yep,
just
you have
do.
to plug in. Yep. And there's so many different, like we just had FastCap. It was a 6-week intensive training program that they
Mhm.
do. They just started another one. There's no cost for that. There was the Agent Accelerator Academy in the Black EXP network, and there are groups for every. Doesn't matter what you do, who you are. There's
Yeah.
specific groups that you can join for
Mhm.
your tribe. But they had a training for that where people came and they just pour into you. Doesn't have to be that they're necessarily going to benefit from you financially at all. They just come and pour into you. So it's an incredible opportunity. And then also for your monthly fee, you get your regular CRM, your website, but now we've just found out at EXPCon that we're going to get Canva Pro for free.
Oh my
We're
God.
going to get Sisu for free, and that's a app for you to manage your activities or track your
Mhm.
activity, which is very, very important because, like you said, you can find yourself just in the social media or whatever wasting time. So you want to track your activity and make your plans and make your activities and follow through with them. So that has been, those things and those tools. Those are just the two that I can think about. I feel like there's more, but I can't think of what they are
I'm
right
sitting here, I'm getting used to this platform that I'm using, and I'm like, can I pull it up and show? But I will lose you, so I'm gonna leave it alone. Leave that where it is. But the Sisu, I guess you can call it because we did it in the fast
now.
app. It's like an accountability tool to
Mm-hmm.
where you break it down to where if you want your business to reach a certain level, then we've done the goal setting where you look at just how many calls per day, how many touches per day you've got to make to get there. You can put that in the platform and track and see what your return on your investment of your time is. And it lets you know really quick if you wonder why you have no business and you look at what you've been tracking and it's going to tell on you.
Right.
It
Yeah.
is what it is.
It is what it is. Exactly. And so you asked me earlier, is it easy? It is not easy, but anything that you do that's going to be rewarding business wise, you got to work.
Yeah,
You
you do.
got to work. And what I will say is that having these tools and this platform and this information that's available to me now, for $85 a month. Before, I think with just the CRM and website that I had for myself, just me, not anybody else, it was a few $100s a month, and that was just a basic one. That wasn't anything
Mhm.
fancy. So even with splitting my commission or having to do that commission split, It's so worth it, especially because with EXP, with the cap being as low as it is, then there's also something called Icon, which I'm determined to be in 2025 because at Icon, then you have the ability to get even your 16,000 that you put in your cap, you have the ability to get that back to you in the form of stocks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like having your business for free. There's no other, I don't know any other firms that are offering that. So
no, it's not. It's not. Well, I have to ask you again. We talked a lot about different things. What do you think about the market? How have you been working with your clients and encouraging them in this season?
I encourage people to, if you're ready, to go ahead and make your move. I've had clients to say, well, they said on Forbes or whatever that people aren't buying and they aren't doing this. That is far from the truth. So people are buying, people are selling. And as long as you're prepared and ready to make your move, then make your move. You may have to, if you're buying, maybe you do end up refinancing, but you don't want to wait till everybody's in the market, because then you're going to have a situation like we had in 2020, 2021, where people were, you couldn't even, like I said, people were making offers sight unseen and well over list price and waiving contingencies and just insanity. And there's, people now that are in a position where their houses are not, they may need to sell and they're not necessarily able to sell because they had to pay so much more. And now the market is stabilizing and you might not be able to get what you put into that house. So,
right.
So.
I think a lot of people thought about, I need to go into real estate during that time, but there was nothing fun about that. Nothing. I can't tell you the number of times when I would take a client into a house, and before I even got done showing the house, they had already accepted an offer on it. And I would have to call my clients get excited about it and have to call them and tell them, so we could put in a backup offer, and this is what I just want to remind you what that means, that kind of thing. It wasn't any fun.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
But I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just said it was not fun. That was not a fun time.
But right now, private owners, builders, they know that people are hesitant. So there's a lot of buyer incentives. We get emails all the time that's telling us, $7,500 in cash, $10,000 in cash. They're buying down interest rates and everything else to incentivize people to buy and give you a best case scenario to where it's making ownership, affordable. Right. So I know you guys have heard me say this 1,000 times, so I'm gonna say it 1,001 times. It all starts with a conversation, because no one's journey to ownership, not even selling and investing, it's not a one size fits all. Everyone's experience is different, and you have to have that conversation and explore the process to know what it's going to look like for you.
Exactly. Yeah, I have somebody reached out to me, and I had referred them over to a lender, and reached out to her to say, have they done whatever? And so she actually just copied me on an email that she sent back to them, and they were a little bit hesitant to even apply because they don't think that they would qualify. And she was really good with her email was really good, because she said, just let's have a conversation and look at your situation, because you may surprise yourself and be ready. Or you maybe you do need a little bit of work, but you need to have that initial conversation so that you know where you are. I tell people all the time, when my dad said you need to buy a house back in 95, I was like, I can't buy a house, because I was that college student. Back then they were all the credit cards were on the yard, and I got it
for a free t-shirt.
I had the cell phone in my car before cell phones in a car that I had mounted all kinds of stuff. So I was just like, I can't buy a house because my credit is. And because I had somebody in my life to say, yes, you can go find out. And I was able to do what I
Mhm.
needed to do and get the process done way faster than I ever thought I would have been able to do. So you'd
Yeah.
be surprised.
And even if you have the conversation and find out you're not ready right now,
Right.
you would be surprised to know that a number of lenders have free counseling. They
Hmm.
work with you. They give you a plan to help you know what it is you need to do to get ready. So
Hmm.
no one is shaking a finger at you and shame on you, these kind of things. But even if you are concerned, have a conversation. Don't tell anybody what you're doing.
Right.
Keep it
Yep.
quiet.
Yeah.
And then just pop up. I'm inviting you to a housewarming. Housewarming.
Yep. I had a couple on that closed in August, and they were on my Make Your Move Monday this week. And
Mhm.
she said they had been wanting to do this for 10 years, and just for
Really?
whatever reason, fear and doubt and whatever,
Mhm.
and they finally buckled down and did it. And they were like, it was way easier. It was very easy once and it was a process, not
Yeah.
that they were ready, but they had to go through, get some things ready, but they did it. They did what they needed to do, and then they closed on their brand
Mhm.
new construction home. That when I looked at my notes of what they told me they wanted, and they got everything they wanted. So
That's beautiful.
some good
And
incentives.
see, just a smile on your face from talking about their experience, it goes back to when you said, what has kept you in it, what your why is.
Absolutely. Yep. It's
Well,
something about being able to help people. So
I want to make sure people know how to get in touch with you because, like I said, this is my sister in the business. She is the founder of the Triangle Wealthy Group, which is a local affiliate of the Wealthy Group out of Atlanta.
mhm.
But you don't have to be in the triangle to connect with us. Or you may find that, I'm interested, I want to learn more about EXP, but I'm not sure the wealthy group is for me, and that's cool.
Mhm.
We have this thing called Workplace, which is like our internal, it's almost like our internal Facebook. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's our internal Facebook. So if you like cats and you are the cat realtor, meow, then guess what? There's a group for the cat people. It's a little bit, you can find your tribe. You just have to plug in. But with all that said, this is Latrice's information. Feel free to get in contact with her to talk through what your real estate desires are, any questions that you may have. And then, of course, this is my information, same here. We are truly believers that you capture generational wealth and you leave a legacy for people in your life by owning real property. And we desire to help people achieve those goals, make smart real estate decisions. And that's really what we're about. We don't buy and sell houses. We help people make smart real estate moves. So, like she
Well,
said,
we're going to be buying and selling houses.
say what? Yes, we
We're
are.
going to be and that's another thing with the wealthy group. And they're like, don't be the agent. You need to be at the table.
I
Catching.
know.
So we
I
want
know.
to do everything. So, like I said,
Mhm.
yeah, we're here. We're here to answer your questions, and whichever I say, make your move. Whatever
Mhm.
you do,
Make
make
it
your
good.
move.
Don't just talk. What do we used to say back in the day? Don't talk
Talk
about it,
about
be
it,
about it.
be about it.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
lady, thanks again so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you Monday because we were talking about being at the table. So I'm
That's right.
excited to be talking some strategy around investing with you. But
Awesome.
if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. If you know someone who's thinking about selling, buying, getting into the industry, or looking to grow and they feel like they need something new, they've outgrown their brokerage, share with them this video, have them to get in contact with us. We would love to meet and talk with them.
Absolutely. Thank you, LaRonda, for having
You
me.
for coming. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Everybody have a great evening.
Yes. Bye.